I guess last time we spoke to you, you were the defensive MVP of the championship game. I mean, how do you, like I said nobody's job settled, everybody's competing, but like, how do you, I don't know, humble yourself or stay hungry or keep the edge? How do you go about hitting the reset button coming off that?
I mean, I'm still the same person. I'm still eating off the floor. You know, like Coach Smart preaches that no entitlement. You're not entitled to anything. So it's still the same mindset I had last year. You're going to stay hungry or you're going to get complacent. And complacent's just not in my DNA. So you still eating, you still hungry.
Obviously, you played at the Star last year. Is that where you're starting the spring, or are you getting looks at other positions?
During the spring is always a time where all the DBs kind of rotate. You kind of get a feeling. We really just like learn. The more you know, the more value you have to this team. So we all get looks at different positions: safety, corner, star, whatever it is, whatever it takes in order to help this team get better.
What have you seen from Smoke as he comes in and joins y'all's secondary group?
Very, very handsy player. I love watching him play. Gets hands on receivers, very physical at the point of attack. Very quick and agile. He moves well. I think he's gonna make a great fit for our team.
What's his spot in the secondary? Where's he playing?
We all, like I said, we all kind of move around, so there's really no designated spot where he's really at. He's played in the star position. He's played in the corner position, so he's gonna continue to learn. The more he learns, the more positions he'll play.
Who you seen from A.J. Harris as he's gotten up there?
Very, very confident player. Has that defensive swag that you kind of got to have in this league. It's very excited to see him play.
And what about Justin Rhett?
Another player that's really coming along. Just like I said, good. All these guys are athletes, man. Like Justin Rhett, he's more of a quiet guy, but he surprises you with his extreme athleticism. He's learning. Like I said, all those guys are young. They're still learning, but they continue to make plays.
You had to study up on Dominic Lovett and Rah last year. Now I assume you've had a chance to go against them. What's been your impressions and interactions with them?
As far as Dom, like my little brother, man. He was one of the first guys that, like, when we came back, we was in the locker room and just topping it up. Very quick, very fast. Like I said, very agile. Gets in and out of his breaks really good. A great route runner. Knows how to play with his speed a lot. So I'm looking forward to see him play. And Rah, I haven't really got to guard Rah just because he's more so outside. But I know Kamar got to go up against him a lot, and just based off what he was saying, he's very quick off his first step off the release and has great hands too. So like I said, I'm excited to see both of those guys help us.
In replacing Chris Smith, what's going to be the biggest challenge for the secondary in accomplishing that?
There is no replacing Chris. Chris is always going to be Money Mile. He's always going to be a part of us. But like I said, just that guy being who he was. Like I said, there's no replacing him. But it's always like it's next man up. Like great players leave Georgia all the time, and great players come up in Georgia all the time. So it's always that next man up mentality. Chris did what he did. He did what he had to do here. We're just looking for that next guy to come in and fill in. Who's that guy? Not really sure yet, but we'll know about the season.
Along those lines, with Keeley leaving, what have you seen from the corners like Dalen, this offseason?
Guys learning, eager to learn, man. Like I said, all this DB room, the team period, we still eating out the floor. You can't really get complacent. Keeley was a great player. Like I said, along with Chris, he did what he had to do here, man. Those guys are on to bigger and better things. But it's still next man up mentality, whether that's the safety position or the corner position. As far as like the corners, I know just off experience-wise, Kamar is probably the leader of that group just based off experience. And I know he's going to continue to lead them in the right direction. So, like I said, I'm excited to see all of them just compete and go hard this spring.
What do you think is next for you? I mean, you're kind of known for your big hits, whether it was on the Florida quarterback taking him up pretty hard early or the hit in the championship game. I mean, where do you see yourself evolving to in terms of what you can bring secondary?
Just keep learning, man. I got big goals and big plans for myself and for this team, and I just want to keep learning, keep growing. I feel like this is the best school to learn and grow from as far as the DB perspective, with the coaches that we have and the defense that we run. So just keep learning, man. I'm eager to learn. I come in here eager to learn every day, and with the coaching staff that we have and the plays that we run, I feel like it's gonna happen. So just keep eating, keep learning, and really just have a growth mindset every day that you come to work.
How about one thing I wonder about with a player like yourself that I mean a lot of people knew who you were before last year, but now you're like a marquee guy in the league. What about that fishbowl and just off the field, people recognizing you, people kind of, I don't know, watching you. I guess when you're a Georgia football player, they kind of know who you are. Has that changed your life, or is there more of a, I guess, awareness to all of it?
I mean, you always just wearing this G, like we said in the room, this G is darn near just important as your last name. This G is very important, and people love and respect this G. And you gotta, it's an honor for us, man, to wear this G. So you gotta respect it, whether you on the field, out the field, and you just gotta do what you gotta do in order to just not bring a bad name to this G and to your last name itself. So you really just gotta watch what you do, watch your surroundings, and just keep your head forward.
How valuable are these first couple of weeks for the early enrollees learning the standard and the expectations, especially when it comes to practice?
It's huge, man, because that transition from college, well, from high school to college is big. It's big, and I know those guys are just, you know what I'm saying, their mind's probably going crazy, but it's a process, and I'm glad that they're here early, because I feel like that helped me in the long run, just getting here early, learning the playbook, learning the standard, learning like the way we do things here is different. But like I said, those guys are coming along. Those guys are eager to learn. They come to work every day with a great mindset. And it's all they're going to take time, but they're going to get it.
What do you remember about those first few weeks for you trying to kind of get
Man, your head's spinning, man. Just the practice alone. It says a lot that we have to practice our practice. So just that, you know what I'm saying, mark alone is huge. I never even heard of anybody practicing a practice. Like, practice is always going to be practice. But, yeah, like, just knowing what a transition, the standard here is different, man. And just from high school, different. Like, in the SEC, it's different. It's tough. It's physical. And just getting those guys ready, you know what I'm saying? Those guys are already great physically, but the mindset part of it is probably the biggest aspect.
Do you sometimes look around and be like, man, I'm one of the old guys in this defensive back group now? Like, what's that like, sort of trying to take on that leadership role with guys like Chris?
Yeah, me and Taki was just in the locker room joking about that, man. It was like, dog, we was just, me and K3, I'm sorry. Me, K3 and Taki was just joking about it. We was like, dang, man, we really got old now. But yeah, it's a privilege, man. I'm blessed to be in the position that I am. Just taking on that leadership role, it's an honor, man, and I don't take it for granted. And just to want to lead those guys in the right direction, like the leaders that did that before me. I looked up to somebody when I first got here, and I just want to be one of those guys to, you know what I'm saying, be looked up to as the season goes along.
Who was that you looked up to when you got here?
So Lewis Singh, Chris Smith, Darian Kendrick, Quay Walker, N'Kobe Dean, like the list goes on. Those guys paved the way for guys like myself and said, and like the standard's gonna be the standard. When me and said leave, the standard's still gonna be the standard. I feel like that's the best part about this organization is that the standard doesn't change, the people do. So yeah, just those guys that led before me, just trying to give the best look I can.
In the national championship game, the first half, 2 interceptions, fumble recovery, and you hurt your shoulder and you're not able to come back. And one shoulder doing okay, was that just needed some rest?
Yeah.
Have you ever played that well, and what kind of confidence does that give you in a national championship type game going in the off season, going to be a bigger leader for this team to have that kind of a performance at that point in the year?
As far as the first question, shoulder's fine. I just needed, you know, just some rest. A long season SEC play, you get dinged up, and that's the beauty of our training staff. They do a tremendous job of helping us, just doing what needs to be done and telling us the things that we need to do in order for us to be fully rested and fully recovered. As far as the second question, my mindset just going into every game is treat every game like it's your first game. Like you play your hardest, whether it's the national championship. I feel like I played as hard as I did the Oregon game and I did versus TCU, and that was the first game of the season versus the last game of the season. But just keep every game the same game. Like, don't try to be too big in the moment. We don't need you to be anybody else but yourself. And that's the thing about this defense, man, and it's about this team in general. We just did what we had to do. And what was it like? Back into your question?
No, it was a unit.
Okay.
How hard was it coming out of that game? I mean, you know,
Which one?
At the TCU game.
I mean, of course, like the athlete, the competitor in myself, you don't want to come out of any game, but just the way the game was going, you know what I'm saying, you got to see a lot of guys play, got to see a lot of other guys make plays, see smiles on my teammates' faces, knowing that it was the last game and knowing that we were going to be victorious. It was just a huge moment. You don't really look back at, you know what I'm saying, what could have happened or, you know what I'm saying, just me in particular. It was more so about the team, and we did something that, you know what I'm saying, hadn't been done in CFB, college football. So, yeah, it was huge. I wasn't really focused on me, just getting healthy and celebrating my teammates.
What's been your impressions of the freshman at outside linebacker? Obviously, you guys are missing some others injured, and obviously Robert and Nolan are going. So,
As far as like outside linebackers, I really, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as I'm a back end player, so I really haven't got to dive in deep with those guys yet. But I'm sure Coach Deribe does a great job with those guys. He did a great job with Nolan and Rob, who own the bigger and better things. So I'm pretty sure they're doing fine. And like I said, as far as the young guys, like this defense is hard. You know what I mean? You're gonna mess up. You're gonna make mistakes and things like that. But like you grow and you learn. And that's the beauty of it.
Do you know when y'all will be in pads?
So,
Do you know when y'all are moving into pads yet? Is it
probably by
Saturday?
probably by the end of the week, around about that time, yes sir.
Javon, I was going to ask you real quick, what's the best part of having a parade drum for you like you were the other day?
Just knowing that your city has your back through all the ups and downs. Just being recognized by your city is huge, man. And I take a lot of pride in my city, where I'm from. It means the world to me, and it means the world to my family. So just having a parade for all my accolades is huge.
Thank you, Javon.
Thanks.